What is happening, everyone? Jimmo here with another exciting video. This one is going to be a lot different than anything you've seen in the past. If you've been following my Instagram feed, you probably know a little bit about what's coming. I talked a little bit about it in the last video about some programming I've been doing, and I wanted to set up a painting kind of simulation environment. So I've spent about a day on this, and I released that teaser on Instagram, and it seemed like a lot of people wanted to see some more, so I figured I'd put a quick video clip together of what this is going to look like. So just make sure I'm in, okay, you can see me. And I just want to make sure you can see exactly how this VR transfers over, because a lot of people are very unfamiliar with VR, even though it's been around for a few years. So this is the Htc Vive that I have right now, and these controllers are just precision tracked into my scene, and there's also sensors on the walls here. So if I was to walk around in my living room, I think I just stepped on a mini stick. If I was to walk around in my living room, then I walk around in the environment as well. So yeah, you want to clean up your floors before you start doing this. So I'm going to just jump into the paint booth here and show you sort of what we've got here. And I just remember thinking that it would transfer so well into a painting application the first time I held these controllers. So here's our gun model right now. So right now it's either on or it's off, and eventually I want to change that because I know that these controllers are capable of receiving like a pressure-based value, so I can adjust the spray pattern based on how light or heavy you're spraying. And there's obviously a lot of work I need to do on making the spraying a little bit more realistic. Now there are some things that are pretty, they transfer over. The main thing is the spraying, like just moving your arm in a way and trying to work on, I guess, the muscle memory. Now I haven't had anybody who isn't a painter try using this yet, and I'm going to be interested to see what that looks like. But so if we take like a transparent color like this yellow here, it sort of gives you an idea of of what we can do. And I know that some of these meshes aren't set up properly. Some of these models, they don't. It isn't covering in certain areas. So a lot of things I have to work on. It's very, very preliminary. I just thought I would show you guys this real quick because I had some people asking. So when you're painting a hood like this, for instance, let me just make sure that you guys can still see me. Okay, let's move over this way. Well, let's move back a bit and teleport over. Okay. So it kind of gives you that sensation of you're about to lean into wet paint. And so some things are pretty realistic that transfer over just as it is right now, and other things not so much. So especially the fan pattern. I'm going to grab a different color just to keep things interesting here. What do we got? Nice blue. We can paint our guns too. That seems to be all the rage, all these funky colored guns. I'm fine with stainless steel personally, but whatever. All right. So this one's pretty opaque. Let's show you like what the spray pattern kind of looks like. So it'll come out. It's obviously not a perfect spray pattern, but what I really want to focus on is getting it right. So when you have an angled gun like this, I mean, it's gonna sort of distort a bit here. It's gonna be heavier down here, obviously, and then it's gonna be a lot lighter at the top. So there's those sort of principles I want to make sure we get fixed up as soon as possible. And I might have to reach out to some other developers for some help on that. Let's see, we can go inside the car here and freshen up the interior. And I do want to make sure there's some sort of a way to mask the vehicle. I do want to make it as realistic as possible. I think my short-term goal was to create an environment where we could discuss certain elements of Refinish, and then it just kind of provides a simulation so we could talk about principles and cover some of the theory. And then long term, I'd like it to be something that's pretty well as close as possible to real world painting and is useful for training purposes. So we've got some pre-cleaner here, but obviously that would take quite a bit of work to get the game logic going. And most of our stuff, I just let them float around like this because I don't like having to bend over and pick things up. I'm getting old, eh? It's just part of life. And here we go. So we've got, this one has like a gravity setup, some of these objects. So some objects actually do fall. All right. We've got all kinds of cleaner models, and I like the cloth. I find something satisfying about grabbing these cloths. Okay. And then we've got some big sponsors on board. We've got Never Peel. You know, I'm going to shut off the video in the corner so I can just focus on the level, now that you've seen kind of how the physics work, if you were not familiar with that. We've got our mixing terminal here, so it's the latest and greatest you can see. And we've got a scale set up here. So I would like to actually simulate what a real paint booth would look like and be able to pour some toners, anything you would actually do in a real shop. And we'd have our clear coats, our primers with the hardeners and everything. So what I needed to do first was sort of get a mud box kind of environment set up that I can just run around and do whatever I need to do in the shop. But obviously these things are very time consuming. So let's see, we've got a welding torch, and I did briefly set that up. Don't tell anybody, but it's only half a welding torch, just how the model was. So I don't actually design all of these, the modeling. I do all the programming, but the models themselves, these 3D objects, I either buy or there's open source ones available. And we can weld up this guy's headlight. Oh, there we go. Perfect. It's just like new. Don't weld near open paint though. That's closed paint, so that's okay. No, I'm kidding. Don't weld near paint. All right, what do we got over here? Jimmo adhesives. It sticks. What more do you want from me? It's a fair point. And then we've got another big sponsor here, Ralph. Genuine Ralph Paint Booth. It's good stuff. We need to get some bumper racks for this shop as well. I haven't done that yet. You either get wall-mounted racks, or I could use actually some floor stands too. But to keep things realistic, like in a real shop, you'll come across some guys that'll just, let's get all this out of the way. They'll grab garbage cans because they don't want to buy any new stands. So if we wanted to paint this bumper, then we could just put it on this garbage can here. It's just like the real world. It's perfect. So what else do we got? I think I went through all the colors really. I think I've got a few of the same colors. This is more of an opaque yellow. We got a nice pretty purpley pink here, purple. There we go. Look at that overlap, that's pretty poor. Okay, yeah, I was talking about the fan pattern as well, and yeah, I also wanted to show you what it would. Haven't done it yet, but I wanted to show you what it would look like if you were to try and spray with a gun. I see a lot of times they'll have a gun that's completely worn and they don't replace parts when they should, and then maybe the middle of the fan's broken up. So you could get a feel for what it's like painting with a busted gun versus like something brand new. And yeah, that's it. So very curious to hear what you all think of this. Actually, before I run off, I'm going to just go throw some product on that Jeep. Just reach through the wall to get where I need to go. What do we got here? Yellow. This Jeep paints well. Well, I've got this thing set up too. I think that a lot of the parts come off. No, not that wheel. I think the bumper comes off. And you can see those flares, they're all in one mesh, so that's why they do that. Here, you know what we can actually do? We can just put them right underground. Nobody's going to know. And that'll just be our little secret. that'll just be our little secret. Okay, and we've got wheels here. You can paint these. I was showing that on Instagram. And I don't know what we're going to do with this now. Yeah, we'll just put that under there, and that'll be our little secret too. Got some bumpers. R&I made easy. I think the headlights come out. I think the grille comes out too. So to do this properly, I would pretty well have to get these models designed in a specific way, or spend some time refining these models so they're a little bit easier to R&I and paint and all that other stuff. But like I say, we don't have very much time invested in this thing yet. But I did have people asking about it, so I thought I'd better put something together and show you guys. All right, so that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.